I've waited a long time for this day. I showed you kindness, and you showed me hatred.
What's up, you guys? ASD Classified here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the most tragic villain in all of Power Rangers, Frax. And if you know his backstory, you know that in 29 years, no other Power Ranger villain has had a more tragic storyline than him. They did my man dirty. Frax has always been a villain I've liked. He could fight, and if you can throw down as a villain, you will always get my respect.
You don't stand a chance against the new Time Shadow!
Ah, but I'm not fighting the Time Shadow. I'm fighting you.
Plus, I love his voice. His voice actor, Eddie Frierson, deserves all the praise and respect for that role.
You know that robots aren't programmed to think for themselves. You know that.
One Megazord or 10, I'll destroy them all!
And I loved how Frax would just pop out his eyes sometimes. Such a dope-ass villain, man. And one of the few that is evil for reasons beyond muhahaha, I'm just evil. But before we get into Frax's backstory, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Power Ranger fans, let's go. And also like the video if you end up liking it. Alright, let's get into it. So Frax is a robot from the future and one of the main villains of Power Rangers Time Force. He's from the year 3000. But he was not always a robot. He was once a man, baby, and his human name was Dr. Louis Frax. Dr. Frax was a very smart person. He built robots to do chores for him and keep him company. I don't want to say these robots were slaves, but yeah. But they were mindless robots, so it's fine, right? Anyway, Dr. Frax was a good person and he just wanted to live peacefully and do good in the world. But as they say, no good deed goes unpunished. In comes Ransik. Now Ransik is the main villain of Power Rangers Time Force. He's also from the future, the year 3000, and he is a mutant. So one night, Ransik was attacked by a fellow mutant named Venomark. Venomark was venomous, and when he bites people, he injects them with his venom, and he also leaves a red bite mark on them. Hence the name, Venomark. The Power Ranger writers are so creative, you guys. So Ransik was bit by Venomark and left to die. Fortunately, Dr. Frax happened to see the attack and he ran up on Ransik and he rendered him aid. Dr. Frax had developed an antidote for the poison, a serum, and he gave it to Ransik. For regular humans, once you take one dose of the serum, you're good, completely cured. But if you're a mutant like Ransik, you have to keep taking the serum or you'll die. Ransik asked Dr. Frax why he, a human, would help him, a mutant. In the future, humans hate mutants. And in the Power Rangers future, they actually practice eugenics, which is just icky. Dr. Frax simply replies that he doesn't judge people. Humans, mutants, robots, they're all the same to him and he just wants to live in harmony. So how does Ransik repay Dr. Frax for his kindness? By trying to kill him. He took the rest of the serum and he blew up Dr. Frax's lab with the doctor still in it. But Dr. Frax survived! Barely. He was dying, and if you look closely, you can see all the burn marks on him, which look pretty dang good for Power Rangers. Like, it looks really good. Like, the camera doesn't seem to be trying to focus on the burn marks too much, I guess to get past censorship, but when you can see it, it looks pretty good. Anyway, my boy was dying, so he did the only thing he could do to save himself. He had to turn himself into a robot. Frax! From then on, Frax forsook his humanity and only saw himself as a robot. It was never explained how, but Frax ended up joining Ransik's criminal organization. And Ransik had no idea that Frax was Dr. Frax until later on in the season. Frax joined up with Ransik and was patiently waiting for the opportunity to eventually destroy the mutant. And then after that, Frax would conquer the world for all robots! Because he was evil and insane at this point.
The day will come when I will squish them like insects.
Frax never got the chance to get his revenge though. Frax tried and failed to kill Ransik, and then Ransik eventually captured Frax in the finale of Time Force. In one scene, Ransik's daughter, Nadira, along with her bad wig, went to talk with Frax to try to understand why humans and mutants hate each other so much. Frax explained that hate is a subject that he knows very well, and that the conflict between mutants and humans is a never-ending cycle of hatred. Humans hated Ransik, and their rejection of him turned him into a monster, and Ransik destroying Dr. Frax turned Frax into a monster. During the conversation, the Cyclobots, the foot soldiers of this season, came to take Frax away to go see Ransik, and they were electrocuting him while they were taking him away. So while Frax was being escorted away, Nadira then apologized to Frax for what her father did to him. In that moment, Frax realized that Nadira could be a good person, and he pleaded with her to break the cycle of hatred while he was being dragged away. Later on, Nadira discovered that Ransik had Frax reprogrammed, and he no longer remembered that he was once human. He was now just a robot who served Ransik. So now, Dr. Frax was truly dead. Frax built a giant killer robot called Doomtron to battle the Rangers. The Rangers, of course, ended up destroying Doomtron, and Frax was heavily damaged in the battle. Ransik was pissed at Frax's failure to destroy the Rangers, and while Frax was laid out on the ground, Ransik kicked him. Such a dick, man. So after Ransik kicked him, Frax's face immediately caved in, and then his whole body shut down. And just like that, Frax was completely gone. Ransik killed this man so many times. He killed him once in the lab, blew him up. He had to turn into a robot. Then he killed him again by erasing his memory. And then he sent him into battle and had the Rangers kill him a third time. And Ransik didn't give a fuck, not once. Normally in Power Rangers, we're used to villains who were once good getting redeemed in the end, especially if they were once human. But that didn't happen for Frax. He was once a good man who tried to do good in the world, but the evil in it corrupted him and cost him his life. Ransik didn't have to do my boy like that. Dr. Frax saved his life, and he betrayed him like that and didn't give a fuck. Cold-blooded. Kid me wanted a happy ending for Frax, but adult me is kinda glad he didn't get it. Like I said, most Power Ranger villains who are human or human looking get redeemed in the end. It makes Frax more unique that he didn't, and it makes his storyline more impactful. Rest in peace, Dr. Frax. So if you're watching this video, what did you think about Frax? Did you like him? Did you hate him? Did you think it was meh? Let me know in the comments if you'd be so kind. Also, if you liked the video, please like it and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna repeat that because I know some of y'all are hard-headed. Like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, later guys. Jamata.